Today we will discuss how to make a formal table for a research paper or a thesis on Microsoft Word. So let's open a file, and no, not this one. Let's open a file and see that which table do we want to. Okay, this is the table that we want to design because this is kind of a formal table for research papers or thesis. You can see the construction here. There are no lines on the vertical direction, for example, in the there is no line separating the columns, no. So there is only lines or borders separating the rows. So this is why this is a kind of a formulation of a table for research papers and thesis. So how we can draw the table? Let's first simply draw a table of selected rows and columns. So you can select the number of rows and the columns from here, but let's see that how many rows and columns there are in this specific table. So as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, eight columns, and there are 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 rows. So let's select one with the 9 cross 9. So 9 cross 8. Okay, and we need one more because it is 9 cross 9, so we need to add one more row. So we can do either by clicking this plus button here, as you can see. So if I press this button, there is another row will be added below. There is another process, there is another way in which we can just go to this section, and then we just click on insert below, and it will the new row will be inserted. Now, here in the top, we just give some headings. For example, I'm just choosing random numbers. So these are just for the description, no, for the display. So I put here some random headings, and then we will because the headings are bold and they are center, so you can make easily these one center. The As you can see in the table, as I showed you here, there is an xy plane and there is yz plane, as you can see here. And I also need to put these xy and yz plane in the center. So what we can do to put it in the center is that there is an option of merge cells. So if we go to the layout, there is a merge cell option. You can merge it here, and by merging it, it will become one cell, let's say, because it merged all of them. So here we can write xy plane, and then we can add the measurements below here, the 1, 2, and 3. These are the measurements that are related to the xy plane. We will repeat the same for the yz plane, and as you can see that the yz plane has different measurements and xy plane has different measurements. So there are 3 measurements in each of the table, so you can add those. But now, for now, we need to centralize them. We can either do in this way, or there is another way in which we go to the layout and press this center button. So we'll repeat for the yz plane. Now we can add the measurements for the yz plane as well. What we need to do now is that we need to remove all the borders on the cells. Okay, so we need only the horizontal borders, as you can see in here, the horizontal lines. So what we need to do is just select the whole table. So we will select the whole table, and then we will remove the borders by on the table design. So here is the borders, and we remove the whole border. So it is kind of there is no border here. So we will start by selecting the heading line, and we will put the border top and bottom. So you go to the borders, and top border and bottom border. Okay, so now we will add the same, like the bottom border for the xy plane, because there is already a top border there. So we only need to select the bottom border here. So it was already selected, so I just clicked once, and it is done. Now for yz, we need a top border and the bottom border again. So we will go again to the borders here, and this is the bottom, and then I will add also the top. Okay, so there is a final thing, which is the final border below the table to let's say to give attention that okay, this is the end of the table. So if you can see, this is actually the construction, but here to align with the heading A, I can centralize all the numbers of the measurements. So now have the centralized the whole text. Sorry, not this one, but this one. Yes. Here you can see that there is a separation. There is a gap between two different rows, two consecutive rows. But in our the table we constructed now is very squeezed. So what we can do is to add this separation, or add this more distance between the two rows. What we can do is by stretching the table downward like this. You can stretch as much as you want, if you where you find comfortable, no, where you see that this is the best option for you. The other way to do this is by selecting the height. As you can see here, there is a height option, and if we increase it, the distance will increase, but it is only increasing for one row. So for the whole table, you have to select all the rows, and now you increase the height, and it will increase the exact amount that, if you know this, just if you're sure for one single amount, you can know this.